Our breaking news from the White House: President Trump and the First Lady have tested positive for COVID-19. The president tweeting about an hour ago. Here it is. Tonight, the First Lady and I tested positive. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. And the First Lady tweeting about 30 minutes ago: as too many Americans have done this year, the president and I are quarantining at home. We are feeling good, and I have postponed all upcoming engagements. Please be sure you are staying safe, and we will all get through this together. So some common messaging there from the White House, but there's a lot to uncover and to unpack here. Good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Raj Mathai. There are many questions and concerns, most notably the president's health. Also, who else might have tested positive within the president's inner circle, and how might this all impact the election? We are addressing many of these questions in real time. Let's start with NBC Bay Area Sergio Quintana, who joins us now from the South Bay. Sergio, what do you know?
Well, the president basically alluding to the fact that he is now among 7.3 million Americans who have tested positive for COVID-19. In fact, taking to Twitter specifically to announce that. This is his tweet at just before 10 p.m. local time. Tonight, the First Lady and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. Now, just this afternoon, he confirmed that one of his closest aides, Hope Hicks, had tested positive. This is video of Hicks walking to Air Force One yesterday. Notice she's not wearing a mask, and neither is Trump's son-in-law and close aide, Jared Kushner. According to NBC News sources in the White House, she had symptoms after a campaign rally in Minnesota yesterday and quarantined aboard Air Force One for the ride back. Those sources say she tested positive this morning. Infectious disease researcher Jessica Malati Rivera tells me tonight lots of people are likely exposed to COVID-19 in this situation.
It's very likely that in the days prior to her symptoms, she was also still infectious. So that would have been up until Sunday, maybe Monday, of her being in her infectious range. So this whole week, she could have been infecting folks, including the president and the First Lady.
Now, of course, this could affect several of the president's key advisors as well. In this video, you can see her walking to Marine One with Jared Kushner, Dan Scavino, the president's social media aide, and senior advisor Stephen Miller. And of course, Hicks and the president have recently been to several rallies and fundraisers over the last few days. Now, tonight, the president's physician released a memo essentially confirming the president's tweets, confirming that the president and the First Lady have tested positive for COVID-19, and also basically says that the president will continue his presidential duties uninterrupted from the White House. Very important wording there to make sure that people are aware that the president is still the president and is still carrying out his duties. Also very important to note here that this is something that they are still trying to manage through in real time. This raises lots of questions also in his re-election campaign, which is in progress. It likely means that he's not going to be able to travel for quite a while. Reporting live in San Jose, I'm Sergio Quintana, NBC Bay Area News.
Sergio, thank you. We were mentioning that note from the president's physician. Here it is. We just wanted to show it to you here. This letter released about 20 minutes ago. So the timeline here has been fascinating. About an hour and 10 minutes ago, the president first tweeting, then the First Lady about 30 minutes ago, and then about 15 to 20 minutes ago, the doctor, the physician of the president, with this letter. And as Sergio was mentioning, it does confirm the positive COVID test, and the final paragraph there of the letter, and that's what's really key in terms of the president's health, the impact globally and economically, that he expects the president to carry out his duties without disruption while he recovers. We talk about contact tracing, and that all applies now to the president and the First Lady. Earlier today, Mr. Trump was in Bedminster, New Jersey, where he met with his supporters at the Trump National Golf Club. It was a private fundraiser. Last night, he was at a rally in Duluth, Minnesota. You see him here tossing out MAGA hats to the crowd. Thousands of people were there, many without masks and no social distancing being observed.